Imagine a moment inside a quiet cathedral. The church is filled with people, but the atmosphere feels different from an ordinary day. The air feels serious, hopeful, almost historic. At the center stands a priest who is about to experience one of the most important moments of his entire life. In a short time, he will no longer simply be a priest. He will become a bishop. But what does that actually mean? What really happens when someone becomes a bishop in the Catholic Church? Is it just a promotion? Is it simply a new title? Or does something deeper take place that changes a man's life forever? Stay with this explanation carefully until the end, because once you understand what truly happens when someone becomes a bishop, you will see the Catholic Church, its leadership, and its traditions in a completely new way. For many people, the word bishop sounds mysterious. It appears in church history, in news reports about the Vatican, and sometimes during important ceremonies. Yet most people never stop to ask what the role actually involves. A bishop is not just another priest with a higher position. Understanding a bishop carries a special responsibility that reaches back to the earliest days of Christianity. Bishops are considered successors to the apostles, the first leaders chosen by Jesus to guide the early church. This idea shapes everything about the role. Before someone becomes a bishop, he usually spends many years serving as a priest. These years are not simply preparation for promotion. Many priests never become bishops, and most do not expect to. The path toward becoming a bishop usually begins quietly. Church leaders observe priests who show strong leadership, deep faith, wisdom, and the ability to guide people. Over time, certain names begin to stand out. When a diocese needs a new bishop, a long and careful process begins behind the scenes. Church leaders consult many people. They ask questions about possible candidates. They study a priest's character, his work, his teaching, and his ability to care for others. This process can take months or even longer. Eventually, several names are sent to the Vatican for final consideration. The Pope makes the final decision. When the decision is made, the priest chosen may receive a private message informing him of the appointment. Imagine receiving such a message. One moment you are living your ordinary routine as a priest. The next moment, you are told that you have been chosen to become a bishop. Many priests describe this moment as overwhelming. Some feel surprised, some feel unworthy, some feel deeply humbled by the responsibility. Once the priest accepts the appointment, preparations begin for the ordination ceremony. This ceremony is not a simple celebration. It is a sacred event that carries deep meaning. During the ceremony, the priest is ordained as a bishop through a special rite that has been passed down for centuries. The ceremony usually takes place inside a cathedral. Other bishops gather for the event because the presence of multiple bishops reflects the unity of the church. The central moment of the ceremony involves the laying on of hands. One by one, bishops place their hands on the head of the priest who is being ordained. This gesture may look simple, but it carries powerful symbolism. It represents the passing on of apostolic authority, linking the new bishop with generations of leaders who came before him. After the laying on of hands, prayers are spoken asking God to guide the new bishop. These prayers ask for wisdom, courage, compassion, and strength. Being a bishop is not simply about authority. It is about responsibility, service, and spiritual leadership. Several symbolic items are then given to the new bishop, which one carries. Meaning, the first is the mitre, the tall ceremonial hat that many people associate with bishops. The mitre represents the bishop's role as a teacher of the faith. When people see this hat during liturgical celebrations, they are seeing a sign of teaching authority. Next comes the crozier, which looks like a shepherd's staff. This symbol reminds the bishop that his role is similar to that of a shepherd, caring for a flock. The people of the diocese are entrusted to his care. He must guide them, protect them, and help them grow in faith. Another important symbol is the bishop's ring. This ring represents commitment to the church and to the people he serves. It reflects a bond similar to a promise of fidelity. Catholics greet a bishop and kiss his ring. They are acknowledging the office he holds and the tradition it represents. Once the ceremony is complete, the priest has officially become a bishop. But the ceremony is only the beginning. The real meaning of becoming a bishop unfolds through daily life afterward. A bishop has three main responsibilities. The first is teaching. Bishops are responsible for preserving and explaining the teachings of the church. This means guiding people in understanding the faith, addressing new questions, and helping believers live according to their beliefs. The second responsibility is sanctifying. This means overseeing the sacramental life of the church within a diocese. Bishops confirm new members, ordain priests, and ensure that the sacraments are celebrated properly throughout the region they serve. The third responsibility is governing. A bishop leads a diocese, which is a geographic area containing many parishes. This involves administrative work, decisions about resources, pastoral planning, and guidance for clergy and communities. A bishop's life is often much busier than people imagine. Meetings, visits to parishes, ceremonies, teaching responsibilities, and pastoral care fill the schedule. A bishop may spend many days visiting different churches within the diocese. Despite the visible authority associated with the role, many bishops describe their work as deeply pastoral. They meet people during important moments of life: weddings, confirmations, funerals, community events, and crises. Through these encounters, bishops witness the joys and struggles of the communities they serve. One of the most meaningful aspects of the role is the relationship with priests. Bishops guide and support the priests working in their diocese. They offer advice, encouragement, and leadership. This relationship reflects a sense of shared mission. At the same time, the role carries. Decisions made by a bishop can affect thousands or even millions of people. Guidance offered during difficult moments can shape the faith of entire communities. Some bishops serve in small dioceses where communities are close and familiar. Others lead very large dioceses in major cities where the complexity of leadership grows significantly. Yet regardless of size, the fundamental mission remains the same: to shepherd the people entrusted to their care. Historically, bishops have played important roles in shaping Christian history. Some were scholars who wrote influential teachings. Some were missionaries who brought the faith to new lands. Others were defenders of justice during difficult times. Even today, bishops continue to represent the church publicly. They speak about moral issues, social concerns, and spiritual guidance. Their voice often carries influence far beyond church walls. But perhaps the most important dimension of becoming a bishop is not visible at all. It is spiritual. The role invites deeper humility and service. Authority in the church is not meant to resemble political power. It is meant to resemble leadership through service. This idea is rooted in the example of Jesus, who described leadership as caring for others rather than controlling them. Bishops are called to reflect this model. The path toward becoming a bishop, therefore, transforms not only responsibility, but identity. A priest who becomes a bishop enters a wider mission within the church. He becomes a visible sign of unity, a teacher of faith, a shepherd of a community. Understanding this role reveals something deeper about how the Catholic Church organizes leadership. It is not only about structure, it is about continuity. The Church believes the leadership of bishops connects today's communities with the earliest generations of Christians. Through this continuity, the Church seeks to preserve its teachings and guide believers through changing times. When someone becomes a bishop, therefore, the moment represents more than personal achievement. It represents a new chapter of service within a long historical tradition. From the quiet moment when a priest receives the news, to the ceremony inside the cathedral, to the years of leadership that follow, the journey reflects dedication, responsibility, and faith. For those watching from the outside, the ceremony may appear formal and symbolic. But for the person becoming a bishop, it marks a profound change. A call to guide, teach, and serve on a much larger scale. Now that you understand what truly happens when someone becomes a bishop, the next time you see a bishop during a church celebration or hear about one in the news, you will recognize the deeper meaning behind the role. And here is something worth reflecting on. Leadership inside the church has always been about service rather than status. The symbols, the ceremony, the traditions, all point back to that central idea. If this explanation helped you understand the life and mission of a bishop more clearly, share your thoughts in the comments. What part of the process surprised you most? The ceremony, the symbols, or the responsibilities that follow? And if you want more clear and engaging explanations about the history, structure, and traditions of the Christian world, like the video, subscribe, and stay connected for the next exploration.